Hi and welcome back to Bill's Cichlid Room. Today we're going to have a look at Steph's tank, her African cichlid tank. Before we get started, if you haven't already and you do enjoy watching the videos, please do hit the subscribe button, click the like button or the dislike button, leave a comment, hit the bell notification, all that sort of thing. So let's get started. This is a tank I've never shown on the channel before. It's Steph's African cichlid tank. So she's got various species of cichlids in here, both from Lake Malawi and from Lake Tanganyika. So if we have a quick look, I'm no expert on African cichlids, so if I make any mistakes, don't hold it against me please. So what we've got in here, there's a group of Carulius, which is the yellow ones. There's a group of the Morai, the dolphin cichlids. There's a trio of the Alanacara Stuart Granti, and there's a trio of the Alanacara Reuben Red. From Lake Tanganyika, there's the Cyprichromis. There's two males and a female of those. The males are the ones with the yellow tails. And there's also a group of the Multifasciata, which is the smallest cichlid in the world. These ones are full grown. There's a small group of them. The full grown, they are shell dwellers, so they live and breed in the shells. So what normally happens is a female will find a shell that she likes, and if you've got more than one shell and more than one female, the females will actually claim a shell each, and the male actually patrols over the top, and he can have quite a few females on the go at once. And they don't eat the young, so they are quite easy to breed, as long as you haven't got other predator type cichlids in the tank to eat the young. But yet the young actually do grow in the shell. So if you have just the tank of just the Multifasciata, before too long, yeah, you can have quite a few of them. Yeah, so it's a 4-foot tank, this one. It's one of the tanks that we've got in the living room. We've got this tank and the other one is Steph's tanks, which is just a community tank, which is what she uses to grow a bristlenose, the lemon blue-eyed bristlenose in. There's a load of endless guppies in there, there's some swordtails in there. I did actually feature that on the video a couple of weeks ago. I think it was the one about the Manchester auction. Yeah, so as we can see in this tank, you can see the Alanacara Reuben Red, and that's the really orange one, which is called red for some reason. And the Carulius, so the Carulius are quite easy to sex. As you can see here, the bright yellow ones are the females, and the ones that are a little bit darker are the males. And I'm not quite sure what mix she's got in here. I think it's 3 males and 2 females, but I might be wrong. But if you look close, you might be able to see some of the females are actually holding eggs. So again, they are mouth brooders. So what Steph tends to do is she'll wait. They brood for about 4 weeks. So as soon as you spot them, you make a note of the date. So leave them in the tank for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then you can either put them in a separate tank or in a breeding net. And then once they drop the young, you just remove the female back out and throw the youngsters on. Yeah, there's 2 males who are actually like fighting for dominance. So as you can see, they're not quite as yellow as the other ones. Yeah, so they're quite fun to watch. Lip locking, swimming around each other. The other fish that she's actually got in this tank, there's 2 of the Petricola. And then there's 2 other Sindontis that we're not sure what they are, so we just refer to them as Sindontis species. They are nocturnal, so yeah, they only really come out of a night. So yeah, unfortunately I couldn't get any footage of them, so we're not going to be able to see them. Yeah, so they're still going at it. Yeah, there is a female in the background coming to see what's happening. Yeah, so it's quite a good setup, this one. There's lots of rock in there, lots of hiding places, and we got a lot of new rock at the Manchester auction. So Steph is thinking about rescaping this tank and possibly replacing some of the fish and getting some new species in there. And Steph, she has kept Malawi cichlids and mainly Tanganyikan cichlids for many years, but pretty much like myself, but when I closed the fish room down, we actually closed down all of Steph's tanks. It's busy with work and life. So yeah, but when I set my tanks up last year in the fish room, we actually did like set a couple up for Steph as well. Yeah, so you can see with the Alnacana, the less colourful ones, they're the females, but you can tell the difference because the Reuben red ones it's like an orange tint to the dorsal fin, and the Stuart Grante have a blue tint to the dorsal fin. Here's a close-up of the shells with the multifasciatus. So you can see they are full grown. They're about 1.25 inches in size, but that is full grown for them. So with this tank being in the living room, this is one of the tanks that we actually do get to sit down and watch. If you see me video the other week about chilling and have a coffee, this is one tank that I do actually watch quite often. But as I say, I'm no expert on it, so yeah. Again, the tank itself, it's run off 2 sponge filters, pretty much like all the tanks in the fish room. There's a heater in there. We replaced the lights quite recently with LED lights, so the light's not the best in the world, but yeah, it is sufficient. Yeah, the dolphin cichlids, so these are actually ones that Steph has raised herself. So she did have a trio of the adults, which we actually sold at the last auction. So these are some of the grow outs. So if you've seen some of my other tanks where I featured Steph's grow out tank, these are from the same lot of those. Yeah, the colours in the Reuben red, they are really nice. Yeah, you can see that there's a pair of the Caerulea. So I think the female is actually holding. So if you look at the mouth, she looks like she's chewing food, but it's not. It's actually eggs. So it can be said like the Lake Malawi cichlids and the Tanganyikan cichlids are a lot more colourful than the Central American cichlids. I joke that they're all yellow and blue, but there is quite a few colours in there. But you can say with all the Central American cichlids, they're all brown or red. So yeah, it's quite a fun argument that we get into at the clubs. So the Cypricomus, which are the ones in the centre of the tank there is a close-up of them. They're commonly known as the sardine cichlids, which you can probably tell by the shape of them. But one of the males, the one here, he's probably the most aggressive fish in the tank. He chases everything else away, and he spends most of the day just in the middle of the tank, just dancing around trying to attract the female. So I'll see whether I can actually get some footage of that for you. Yeah, so here he goes. He's sort of he goes like the head up and tail down, and just sort of like dances round. You can see the female there. She doesn't really look interested, to be honest. I'm not sure whether she's holding as well, which might be why. Yeah, but I hope you agree. It's quite a nice aquarium. Steph with the water parameters, she actually does keep the pH about 7.5, so she puts in bicarbonated soda when she's doing the water changes and keeps the pH around about 7.5. So she's always found the African cichlids, they do a lot better in a higher pH. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Something a little bit different from myself. And don't forget the Northwest Cichlid Group auction is on Sunday, the 7th of November. Hope to see you there.